All right, so today I am joined by Sanjay Ayre, one of the most legendary athletes that, Jamaica has ever seen. And of course, on the track, he's had a legendary career, but now it's been a while, but you've been putting your feet into the game of, putting on some amazing meets. You've put on some great meets outdoors over the past couple years, but now we're getting the chance for you to be able to bring a meet to New York City, the New York International Showcase going down on January 24th and 25th in Ocean Breeze in Staten Island. Sanjay, so great to have you here. Hopefully everything's going well.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Anderson. It's an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, let's dive right in with the New York International Showcase. This is your first opportunity to really bring a really high profile high school meet to New York City. How did this kind of meet come together? What was the initial things that brought this meet to life?
One of the most important things, that I was thinking of, when I migrated from Jamaica, I came to New York City as a PSAL athlete at Dewitt Clinton. And I had a lot of success with the high school circuit in New York. And I just wanted to give back to the city of New York, that did a lot for me through my prep years as a high schooler. New York has a very big market for media and for everything. And I figured that having a meet in New York would be good. We have a big Caribbean diaspora in New York, and just merging the whole meet concept of USA versus Jamaica versus the world. I think we have a lot of different cultures in the city, and New York was just a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's exactly as you say. New York City has so much culture, so many different people from all around the world, and this is an international showcase. But sticking on that, like you said, you went to, DeWitt Clinton in New York City. Do you feel like this is kind of a full circle moment, having competed in the PSAL, but now having the opportunity to bring a meet for high school athletes in the city?
Yes, absolutely. And not only for New York, but I've looked across the US, and there's high school meets every week, tons of high school meets every week. But I kind of felt like there was a demand for an international indoor meet that would feature foreign schools. Um, and just the concept, I think track and field is at a space now where, you know, a lot of people who could really influence the sport has to come out and come with creative ideas that's going to make track and field more interested. There's been a lot of efforts been done on the pro side, but I didn't see efforts done for the high schoolers. High schoolers typically don't get to run against other countries unless they're at like a U20 championship or Pan American Games where they're running for the actual national team. I felt like there was a demand for something with high schoolers going up against high schoolers in that type of atmosphere, and that's how I came up with the concept. It's been a hit so far. I'm getting a lot of great feedback. Everybody wants to come, and the lineups are loading. We're approximately 3 weeks out, and things are looking good.
Dive a little bit more into that with the highlight on international competition between the high school athletes, because obviously you have athletes from the United States, you have athletes from Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, but then also have athletes from like Canada, from like Australia, who are going to get a chance to be able to compete against others around the world. Like, how is it that you were able to bring so many different athletes from all these countries and that opportunity for everyone to compete against each other?
Well, for me, first and foremost, it's a huge financial investment, and I'm hoping, the investment pays off because obviously, you're going across the world to invite athletes in. Inviting them in is a very tedious task because you got to book travel, airline tickets, hotels, logistics, accommodation. So it's a lot of financial effort that goes into it, and then manpower just to take care of the logistic aspect. I wanted to make sure wherever the best athletes are in the world, I was going to go and get them, regardless of what the situation was. So, for example, the Australian Amira Burns, she just came off her high school national championship where she was the 100-meter silver medalist, and she was the 200-meter gold medalist. Went out and got her. I really wanted to get the male sprinter gold, but it's very difficult, with how big he is now to secure someone like him. So getting the female was a no-brainer. Then obviously I'm a native of Jamaica, and the Jamaica US rivalry. I went out and I got, many time high school national champions, Calabar, on the men's side, and Heidel on the female side. They always come on and put on a show at Penn Relays, and I knew that, okay, every time they come to a track meet overseas, they always show up and do well. So it's not only about us going overseas and us picking anyone. You want to pick the right teams and the right athletes that are going to come and put on a show for the fans. The Canadians, obviously, right on the border, it's easier for them to come across. But there's also a lot of born American athletes who are from Caribbean heritage, like the Ray sisters, Lisa Ray and Zanea Ray. They were born here in America, but they have, Trinidad heritage, and they don't get to show their heritage, on US soil, so it's good for them to highlight that. And then another triple jumper from Belize, Brooklyn Little, she represents Belize, has won a lot of medals here in the US for her high school here in Maryland. She'll be representing Belize, and there's countless others that, they're either born overseas and they go to high school here in America, or they have parentage and they want to rep, their flag of, wherever they're from. And just to highlight that and bring that into a space of, this is US, we're here in America, but it's US versus the world, versus Jamaica versus Trinidad versus everybody else, and to create fan interest through rivalry. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love you highlighting, all the athletes from all these nations. And like you said, even the Ray sisters and some of the others they're born here, but now they're getting a chance to actually represent their, show off like, okay, yeah, I'm Trinidadian, right? Or I'm Jamaican, or I'm from Belize, right? And chances that they won't normally get. I am curious, like, what is like your ultimate goal with the meet? Is it to, just showcase the, international talent, that you have competing in high school, or is it to, put on the best meet you can, or maybe it's multiple goals? Like, what is your ultimate goal with the meet here?
Well, my ultimate goal obviously is to bring a new concept, to track and field. A new concept being international high school meet on a yearly calendar every year, and just creating more opportunities for athletes overseas and athletes here in America to be on a big platform to get university scholarships. That's the first. Secondly, I feel like this meet could be a lasting legacy for me. Something that even when I'm gone off the face of this earth, we could carry on with the New York International Showcase and, have it for 100 years like the Melrose Games or something. But, just wanted to create long-lasting legacy for track and field, and being impactful for young high school kids with opportunities.
And like I kind of said at the top, you've been hosting an outdoor meet for a couple years now, which has been pretty successful. I'm curious what you've learned from, hosting that meet that you're now bringing into the indoor meet that, again, is something completely new that, maybe you have a little bit of experience with the hosting aspect, but it's a little bit of a different dynamic.
I think what I've learned is fans and athletes, they kind of feed into the head-to-head competition, the head-to-head clashes. Once that caught on and the demand was high, I said, well, I have to do something indoor. The outdoor meet, we're in our third year. So this is going to be our fourth year in May. And, from the very inception, the very first meet was a huge success. And then we just built off that. And then it was a quick demand to either do maybe a second outdoor meet, but the calendar wouldn't allow us to do it.
Yeah.
So, it was kind of an easy decision to just do one indoor with the same type of concept.
And the head-to-heads are big, and being able to bring it to high school internationally is massive. Do you feel, or how are you able to kind of create an environment that is competitive? It does have those head-to-heads, but still allows for the athletes, for the fans, for the families, right? For everyone to have fun and have, enjoyment at a meet like this.
I just think, the high school space is a little bit different
Hmm.
compared to professional track. When you look at professional track, it's kind of like you have to reach out to new fan base to come to events to keep it interesting and keep
Yeah.
the meets going. With high school kids, you don't have to really pull from outside. Families are going to come and support their kids.
Hmm.
Moms, pops, coach, you know, families going to come and support the kids. So it's an easy reach, but what fans want to see on the high school level and what the kids really anticipate is going to a meet where they're going to see fast kids and compete against fast kids. That means a lot to them, and that's what's going to set this meet apart. Because, as I said, it's different than just going to a every week meet where you're facing the same competition all the time. This type of competition, they're coming from all across the US, the best of the best, and then obviously from across the world. So that's what makes it different and more interesting.
And so the meet is split over 2 days. What can we expect on day one? What can we expect on day two, over the course of that weekend?
So day one, we're going to start with probably like the shorter sprints, the 55 meters, and then we'll have a couple different races. But we're offering every single race that you could think of and every field event you could think of that would happen at a track meet. And we want to make sure that we space the events out so there is non-stop action throughout the event to really hold the fans in and keep them engaged. And on Saturday, which is day two, we're going to block off maybe a 2 to 3 hour window in the meet where we just highlight international sections. And
Hmm.
the international sections are going to comprise of the highest seeded athletes in the meet from all the countries that are involved. Are going to go head to head. So that block of time, if fans don't want to stay all day for a 8 hour track meet, which is a deterrent for some fans, they could come in for that 2 3 hour window where the best athletes are going to be going up, nonstop action.
Right. So that seems like it's going to be the head-to-head portion where it's like you got, Jamaica, USA, Trinidad, like the best of the best kind of coming together against each other.
Yeah, yeah. The head-to-head is going to happen both days,
Hmm.
and it's going to happen throughout the whole body of the meet. But
Nice.
that particular section on Saturday, day two, we're going to try to really like push like those international races, to the audience.
Right. And I wonder how, kind of thinking long term, where this is only the first year, we're looking forward to multiple years in the future. How is it that, you want athletes, what is it that you want the athletes to take away from an experience like this at the meet in a few weeks?
The most important thing for me is a quality meet, well ran with fast competition. That's the most important thing. I think parents want to come to a meet, it's on time, they get to go home on time, and they know that if their kid participates in the meet, they're going to be guaranteed to run fast in a very competitive environment.
And I love kind of connecting it all together where you have athletes from around the world. You have families and friends and fans being able to come, here in New York City. You're bringing something that New York City has never seen, like high school competition has never seen, with all these athletes kind of competing, and the roots of like you competed in New York City in high school. You're from Jamaica, so you're bringing, all that connection there. I love just the entire energy around the meet. It sounds like it's going to be very, very exciting. And then for you as an individual, like hosting this meet, what's maybe the biggest takeaway that you're looking for? I know you spoke about like the goals, but maybe on a personal level, like what's the biggest takeaway you want to bring from here?
Biggest takeaway, it's very important for me in this first year of the meet. The first time you put on a meet or any business endeavor, you want to make sure that it's successful, you know.
Nice.
So I'm doing everything in my power. The team is doing everything in their power to make sure that the first one is successful. And I believe if we have some success in the first year, it's going to give us a proper building block and momentum for, you know, years to come. And hopefully with that also we'll have more sponsors to come on board and support our event. Yeah.
Nice. If I know anything about what you've done, of course, outdoors, but then in everything else you've done, I mean, I know this is going to be a huge success, and there's going to be a lot more years to come. So it's going to be exciting.
Thank you.
But I mean, before we kind of close off, anything else you want to shout out about the meet, what you're looking forward to, what people should kind of expect and everything?
Yeah, more than anything else, that's appealing to the fans to come out. If they want to purchase tickets or want to see the schedule, want to see entries or enter their athletes for the meet, whether you're a high school coach or a parent, go over to the meet website. It's www.eastcoasttrackandfield.com. And on the website, it's going to give you all the information you need, hotels that are available, if you're traveling from out of town. And I can guarantee, you know, if kids participate, the fans that come, they're going to see a lot of great high school athletes competing, and it's going to be a lot of amazing performances.
Absolutely. And I mean, just for everyone watching, myself, again, I've known Sanjay. He is, you know, one of the best in the game. So I'm excited to like see this meet go down. But yeah, New York International Showcase, one of a kind, the first time that we're getting a meet like this in New York City, specifically for high school athletes. January 24th, 25th, Ocean Breeze in New York City. And tell us where we can watch the meet as well. You'll have streaming, I think.
So yes, so we do have live streaming all day for the meet. And if you want to stream the meet, you have to be on www.milesplit.com. So Milesplit is going to stream both days. And if you have a subscription through Milesplit, it will be a free watch with your subscription.
Perfect, perfect. Well, Sanjay, really appreciate it. Super excited for the meet. And yeah, thank you so much for chatting a little bit.
Thank you, Anderson. It's an absolute pleasure.